I told my family I love my wife more than our kids, and the whole dinner table went silent. I love my wife more than I love our kids, and I said it out loud at a family dinner. The second I said it, the whole table went still. My brother-in-law froze with his fork in the air. My mom stared at me like I'd done something wrong. Even my boys looked up, all at once, waiting to see what I'd say next. My wife just lifted her head and watched me, calm, like she already understood and wasn't going to rescue me. I didn't take it back. We've been together 28 years, married for 23, and she's still the first person I want to call when anything happens. Good news, bad news, boring news, even dumb stuff like a weird cloud made me think of you. That hasn't changed in nearly 3 decades. Our boys are great, all 3. I'd do anything for them. But loving your kids is automatic. It hits the second you hear that first cry, before you even get a choice. You don't wake up and decide if you'll love your child today. You just do. Loving your spouse is different. It's a decision you make every morning, even when you're tired or annoyed, even when life is loud. Nobody praises you for it. You just keep choosing. After I said it, the mood got tense fast. My brother-in-law, divorced twice, gave a little laugh and said, "That's a weird thing to admit." I said, "I'm not admitting anything. I'm telling the truth." Someone at the table let out a nervous cough. My aunt reached for the salt, like salt could fix the moment. My middle son started to say, "Dad," then stopped and stared at his plate. I said, "I love you guys. This doesn't take anything from you." No one replied, but my wife squeezed my knee again, like she was backing my play without making it bigger. One of my boys shifted in his chair. My wife reached under the table and squeezed my knee quick and steady, like, "Don't turn this into a fight." I could hear the ice in someone's glass clinking. My brother-in-law went back to his food, but he kept side-eyeing me like I was about to say something worse. Later, while people were getting dessert, my mom pulled me into the kitchen. She lowered her voice and said, "Don't say things like that in front of the kids." Our youngest is 14. I asked, "Why not?" She said, "Because of how it sounds." I said, "How does it sound?" She didn't have an answer. Just that tight look, like I was supposed to feel guilty anyway. And that's what I don't get. We spend years telling our kids to find someone they love deeply, someone they can't imagine life without. Then so many adults model the opposite. 2 people living under one roof, talking only about chores, bills, and schedules, like they're coworkers. I've watched good people slide into that, and it scares me. My wife and I aren't perfect. We've had fights where we sat in different rooms, silent, both too stubborn to move first. We've said things in sharp tones, and then regretted it, but we always came back, every single time. Not because it was easy, but because we knew who we were protecting, each other. She's my best friend in the real way. She's the person I want next to me when things go sideways. The person who can look at me, and I'll instantly know if I'm being unfair. The person whose opinion can change mine. The person I still get happy to see walk through the door. Our boys grew up watching that, without us giving a speech about it. They saw it even when we didn't. About a year ago, my oldest sat at the kitchen table looking nervous, turning his phone over in his hands like he was trying to find the right words. He said, "Dad, I met someone." Then he rushed out that she made the whole world feel quieter when she walked into a room, and he hated how cheesy it sounded. He asked, "Is that a bad sign?" I said, "No, that's probably a good one." Then he asked, "How do you know when it's real?" I kept it simple. You know it's real when you'd rather lose the plans than lose her. He blinked, so I spelled it out. When you love her more than the apartment, more than the timeline in your head, more than the future you keep picturing, and losing her would hurt worse than losing that version of your life. He stared at the table for a long second, then nodded slow, like something finally clicked. 6 months later, he called and said, "I did it." I said, "Did what?" He laughed, nervous, and said, "I proposed." Before I could ask anything, he said, "She said yes," like before I finished. My wife answered the call first, because I was in the other room cleaning up dinner. I heard her say his name, then go quiet. The quiet before the happy noise. And I knew. She came around the corner with one hand over her mouth, eyes already wet, holding the phone out to me like it was shaking her. I didn't say anything. I just took the phone with one hand and took her other hand with the other, and I fell.